Hello all you lifers, it's Ali here and I am taking over. No Sammy takeover, no David's limelight. Mama's taking over because she's got something to tell you. I am officially British. Well, now that I've got one of these, I'd better start speaking like this, I suppose. That awful American accent has got to go. So I hope you don't mind, I'll be speaking like this in all of our videos from now on. I'm not holding that up. I can't keep that up all day. It's awful. I sound like Mary Poppins, Dick Van Dyke maybe. I have been in England for 15 years, since I was 23 years old. Please don't do the math on that, or maths as they say in England. I've been on various different visas. I came in on a student visa so I could spend more time with David, and then swapped to an engagement visa, but I couldn't work on that. And then I think a marriage visa, and eventually settled on an indefinite leave to remain visa. Now that meant that I could come and go as I please and had security in the country, I could work, and it meant that no matter what happened with David and the kids, if they decided to leave me and move to Australia tomorrow, I could still stay and work here and get whatever benefits I needed. So that was really working for us. However, every couple years, the lovely British government decides to pick on the lowly little people with an indefinite leave to remain visa and tell them that they're updating their systems and we need to pay for that privilege, which is never very nice. And a couple hundred here, a couple hundred there. It was financially better if we were to just save up little by little, and when we had the money, we would just go for it. And I told David, I don't want to know when you're doing it, because if you tell me we've got the money, then I will find 100 other things that it's better to spend that big lump of money on. And eventually, he just gave it to me one Mother's Day, sat at this very table eating cream tea, nonetheless, of course, and surprised me with it. And I'm so pleased he did, because now I'm officially British and I'm really excited about it.
Oh my goodness!
I'm officially a proud British American, Anglo-American, American British? I don't know, I'm both, basically. Yeah, I'm still very, 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 very chuffed about it, as the Brits say. As I say, chuffed. We had to wait a couple months for the official letter to come through, and that was super exciting. However, it stated very clearly on the letter, you are not a British citizen until you've done the ceremony. So we were given a date, which was awesome. And because of COVID, there were some rules that the kids couldn't come. And I wrote them begging and pleading, saying, please, 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 please. This is so important to me and my family to do as a family unit. Please, can my kids come? And they said yes. You don't ask, you don't get, right? And we all dressed up, we got all fancied up, and I wore a London skirt, which I was in love with, and it fit the mood perfectly. In the ceremony, we were at a local registrar's office. We had to say an oath, and we had to say a pledge, to stand up and say it and everything. And then we all, the families and everybody who were in the audience, all sang the national anthem, all 2 verses of it, which there are 2 verses. And then I got to take pictures against the flag and things like that, holding up my citizenship, so it was really good fun. For me, this was not just a financial decision, but it was also something that made me feel secure and united as a family. We've always been a dual national household, and we are very proud of that, and we think that's a wonderful thing to unite the world like that. However, you see these scary things happen in the world, and I mean, it is very, very unlikely that that would ever happen now, and that there's not an additional reason that, you know, if politics change or wars break out, that could ever separate my family. It gives me a huge sense of security. How does it feel to be British now? It feels great to be British now. I'm very proud to be from the home of Oasis and Adele and Ed Sheeran and the Beatles. Yeah. I love England. I love Britain. It's been my home for a long time, and it's, you know, I've had struggles adapting here, I'm not gonna lie, but there are lots of really awesome things about England, and it's very, you know, it's a wonderful place to live. It's very safe. It's very beautiful. It's very peaceful, I'd say. There's not a lot of crime and war, or as much as a lot of other places in the world. And there's not, I mean, there's like no animals that can kill you here. Did you know that? That's crazy. A lot of people ask me if this meant that I had to denounce my American citizenship, and the answer is a big fat no. I would never do that. I'm way prouder to be American than I ever was. Living in a foreign country can do that to you. Do some of you feel that way? I think because I've left America and a lot of those stereotypes that I really was frustrated with when I lived there, having them thrown my way when I'm in another country really does make you feel proud of the things that are good to be American and that America is great at, and that those stereotypes that, yes, a lot of those stereotypes are true, they're not my America. It's not what I was brought up to learn and to preach and to be. And I'm very proud of the America that I am part of and that I represent. And being here has only strengthened that in me. I used to be ashamed traveling from America and all those stereotypes thrown at me. But now I'm very proud of a lot of things about America, and there are a lot of good things that people don't see sometimes because they're overshadowed by those bad things. And now I'm very proud to be British as well. So I'm proud to be both. There are things about both places that I would like changed, but there are things about both places that make me very honored and proud to hold the passports of. Has it made me feel different at all? It kind of has. Your nationality and your citizenship is a huge part of your identity. So now having dual citizenship and being British and American, it does change who I am a little bit, if that makes sense. Now I'm not just a British resident, I'm a British citizen, and I have all the rights as other British citizens, and I belong here just as much as anybody else. And that will never change now, and that feels significant. And I'm really proud to represent both countries. Do I feel more British or more American? I'd have to say hands down more American. I was born and raised there. You can take the girl out of Cali, but you can't take the Cali out of the girl. I'll always be a Cali girl. Sorry. Although there is that little part of me after living here for 15 years that does feel British, and I'm really pleased that that part is now official. So although I feel more American, there is a part of me that is also British that now feels official and can be a proud Brit as well as a proud American. What sort of British things have I taken on? Mostly some words. There are a few words that my life is just easier if I say the British word for. I can't stop for 5 minutes every time the word tomato or tomato comes into my vocabulary and talk about how cute it is that Americans say this and you say that. I just can't do it anymore. I've done it so many times. So there's a few words like that. Basil, tomato. I'll never say aluminium. It's just too much. Lots of baby words like dummy and nappy and cot I've had to change because, well, I had my babies out here, you see, so everybody else used those words. My kids call me mummy. Isn't that sad? I'm so sad. I always wanted to be mommy, and now I'm mummy, and they just won't change it. I don't know why. I have, however, brought a few American words in here, and the funniest thing is, they're all cleaning words. Who's the one who makes everybody clean in this house? So now, nobody in this house says washing up, they say do the dishes. Nobody else in the house says take the bins out, they say take the trash out. Oh, my favorite one that they say, that I don't say, squirrel, squirrel, squirrel. It's a squirrel, squirrel, squirrel. Basically, I have too many differences that we say in our vocabulary, Brits and Americans, and it would take a whole video to cover that all. So if you'd like to see that, let me know and I can make you that. So maybe I'll even get David to do a video on the differences he's found in America as well. While you're waiting for those, however, like, subscribe, do your thing, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye, ta-ta, ta, bye darling, bye.